me now is Dr. Jun Ma. Dr. Jun Ma is the chairman of the Hong Kong Green Finance Association and the chair of the Capacity Building Alliance of Sustainable Investments. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's focus first of all on the Hong Kong Green Finance Association. Tell me a little bit about the association and what your priorities are.
Sure. The association was started in 2018 when Hong Kong was actually launching its own green finance program, green bond program, everything. And we're hoping to use a platform to build a bridge between the regulators and governments and the private sector, and also do capacity building and engineer some international initiatives. Since then, we've been expanding our membership, and now we have 160 members, which are largest lenders, investors, all specialized in green. And of course, a lot of our green companies, they are joining us. And last year we did 90 events on capacity building, policy dialogue, international collaboration, and so on. We are indeed, I think, one of the most dynamic green finance associations in the world. And yesterday, in fact, the day before yesterday, we hosted our 8th annual forum of the Hong Kong Green Finance Association. It was attended by 300,000 people online.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the influence in the region.
Across the region, not just here in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it's broadcasted, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people from China and other parts of Asia joined online, despite the typhoon.
Despite the typhoon. So this is really growing. It's really growing. People's hearts and minds are changing, and they're much more interested now. It's becoming more mainstream. Would you say that's fair?
Definitely. In that conference, Monday, we had this Hong Kong Green Finance Association annual meeting. I said, Asia is really the center of action in terms of green sustainability. For example, the newly installed renewable capacity, 70% of that is in Asia. And in terms of dollar amount of investment in renewable capacity, 50% is in Asia. And behind that, it's green financing.
How do we bridge the funding gap?
Different countries have different sort of starting point and the current situation. In China, I think it's very large already in terms of financing dollar amount. For example, the green lending market in China is now 45 trillion RMB outstanding, equivalent to about $6 trillion US. They funded the massive growth of renewable energy, EV, batteries, and so on. But in the rest of Asia, for example, in ASEAN, 80% of renewable energy demand is not being met in terms of financing.
80%.
Yeah, that's why we need to bring the bankable projects, bring finance, bring the team really to invest in these areas. And Hong Kong is a connector, between technology, which is available in China, and also financing. It's massively available in the world. It's not being channeled effectively to this part of the economy that's need investment in renewable energy and other green activities.
Is that also part of what you're doing for the Capacity Building Alliance of Sustainable Investments?
Yeah, the CASI, or Capacity Building Alliance of Sustainable Investment, born out of my work during the time I co-chaired the G20 Sustainable Finance Working Group. And over the many years, under the G20, we create a lot of framework and guidelines on sustainable finance. But we feel that the development is uneven. In large economies like China and Europe, green finance expanded rapidly, tenfold increase last 10 years. But in lots of smaller developing countries, they're still lagging behind. And one of the key bottlenecks is capacity. Capacity at all levels. For example, on policy, you need to put in place a taxonomy, put in place the disclosure requirements. That's difficult. You need to borrow experience from others, right? And at the bank level, they need to know how to do the products. Green loans, green bonds, ETF and everything. And at the project level, they need to know how to originate projects which are green and bankable. And the lack of capacity has really prevented the growth in these economies. That's why CASI was set up in 2023 at the COP. And after 1.5 years of operation, we have trained already 6,500 people from 90 jurisdictions, largely from developing country emerging markets. And we're expanding our program, especially moving some of the training to online, which can reach out to much larger audience and much lower cost going forward.
So technology is the key.
Definitely. We now use AI to do the teaching. The avatars will be reading the script experts have written, and we can switch between language very easily.
Very easily. What's your vision? Just a quick one. With both the association and the alliance, what would you really hope to achieve in the next 10 years?
I think connectivity between different economies in terms of green trade, green technology, green financing is a key. because a lot of financing is available in certain parts of the world, a lot of technology available, and a lot of capacities are available, but they are not transmitted effectively to the rest of the world, which need climate action. And that's why global platform like the ones we are building, CASI and others, is very important in channeling these capacity and resources into the places where they need these capacity and the finance.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr.
Thank you
Ma.
very much.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.